Hello, this is Kelly Swingler from the Chrysalis crew, and I want to talk to you today about the 4-day working week and why some leaders are seemingly afraid of implementing the 4-day working week within their organisations. Here at the Chrysalis crew, we have been working a 4-day working week since January 2019. And we operate a very strict 4-day working week whereby we, as a business, we close on Mondays. So we work with clients, we work together as a team, Tuesday to Friday. When we first started to implement the 4-day working week, really, we were looking at something that we could do to really give back to our people, to show that we value them, to show that we respect them, to show that we appreciate all of their efforts. And we wanted something that we could really give to them to show just how much we value them. And of course, we could have looked at higher salaries, we could have looked at lots of different benefits, we could have looked at varying different bonuses. But at the time with where we were as an organisation, being able to pay additional money was something that whilst we were looking at, we didn't know necessarily that we would have the funds to be able to do that. But we also wanted something, we've probably all seen the engagement details, the engagement survey results that tell us that money actually isn't that much of an engagement factor. It's not that much of a motivating factor. And whilst we would probably all love to be paid more, to be able to do more, spend more, have more, the one thing really that many of us do not have enough of is time. And so for us making the decision to close 1 day a week, we piloted it, we trialed it, we said we'd see what would happen. But actually from that time in January 2019, we're now more than 18 months later, and it is the absolute best business decision that we have ever made. And when we speak to some other organisations about it, particularly when I'm speaking to leaders about it and HR professionals, the first thing that comes back is that will not work for our organisation. And it's end of conversation, that won't work for us. And they will reel off all of the reasons as to why it won't work for them. They're in a different sector, they're a different size, they have different customer demands. There's lots and lots of all of these reasons as to why they think a 4-day working week will not work for them. But actually they don't always look at the benefits that can be gained from a 4-day working week. Now, the Chrysalis crew, we follow, we didn't necessarily know it was there at the time, but with more and more research that we've done, we follow the absolute 4-day working week principles, which follow a 100-80-100 ratio. So that is 100% of the pay for 80% of the hours worked, 80% of the hours worked, whilst we maintain 100% productivity. 100% of the pay, 80% of the hours worked for 100% of the productivity. Now, lots of the research around the 4-day working week principles and why a 4-day working week is effective shows that actually, on the whole, our people, us and our people, are probably only productive for between 2 and 4 hours a day. The rest of the time, we may be going to and from meetings, we may be looking at BBC News on our computers, we may be having 20-minute, half-an-hour conversations at the coffee machine. So actually, it's more productive for us to consider working a 4-day working week. It's more productive for all of us to start thinking about implementing a 4-day working week. But the benefits to our people, the benefits to our organisations, the benefits to the planet are far and wide reaching. From a well-being perspective, from a health perspective, from an energy perspective, from a productivity perspective, from a focus perspective, there are all benefits. If we're commuting less and we're in our offices less, then our carbon footprint on the planet is greater. If we can balance the lives that we have outside of work with our responsibilities and our lives in work, we are happier people. Happier people are generally more productive within their organisations. The more productive that we are, the more work we can be completing, the greater the customer service we can be delivering. It's win-win all round. But when it comes to leaders, I think whilst we come up with all, there's lots and lots of different reasons, I won't say excuses, but lots of reasons as to why we think it won't work within our organisations, namely because my sector's different, my company's different, all of those sorts of things. I don't believe that's a reason to not implement a 4-day working week. When I first started my career, I started with Waitrose and then I moved over to John Lewis. And at the point that I moved over to John Lewis branches were still only open 5 days a week. They were open Tuesday to Saturday. A few months in, and John Lewis moved to 7-day trading. And the different rotas that they put in place to ensure most of the time we were either working a 4-day week or I think we were between a 4-day week and a 6-day week. And that was one of the UK's biggest retailers were able to look at what it was that they needed to do to ensure there was cover to be delivering to customers at key points of the day, key points of the week, whilst making sure that none of us were working too many hours. Now, I'm not saying they had it right then. I think we're going back to 2000, 2001. There are lots of different ways that they could have implemented it, and certainly with the experience and changes that I've managed over the last, 18, 19 years, there are things that I would do differently if I were implementing that rota system for them. But it can be done. Many retailers are already doing it with different peoples on different rotas at different times. Distribution and logistics are looking at those things and doing things at different days and different times. So it can be done. I'm not saying it can be done in every profession, but it absolutely can be done. But actually, I think the biggest issue as to why we don't want to implement a 4-day working week is firstly around trust. So the biggest issues, but firstly is around trust. If we give if we give our people a day off, what are we going to get in return? What if our productivity does suffer? What if people start taking advantage of us? If we trust our people, it will work. And we can do pilots. And if productivity dips, remember the 4-day working week principles of 100, 80, 100, if that 100% productivity is decreasing, then maybe it's not 80% of the hours worked, or maybe it's not 100% of the pay. So there are ways around it. I'm also not saying that you have to close your business 1 day a week. There are different iterations that you can put in place. Some of your people may not want a 4-day working week. For some of them, it may work brilliantly. So there are lots and lots of different iterations that you can do. But if you start with trusting your people, trusting that this is the right thing for them, trusting that you can make it work, then you can absolutely make it work. And then the second issue that I see is it is definitely around this fear of what if it damages our company? What if it damages our reputation? What if it damages our customer service? I can absolutely assure you that it didn't damage our reputation. It didn't damage the way that we work with people. It hasn't damaged any of our relationships with customers. You can eliminate the fear by trusting your people and just giving it a go. It can work. It is being proven to work in lots and lots of different sectors, in lots of different size organisations, and across many different countries. It can absolutely work. But we've got to stop being afraid of our people maybe taking the mickey a little bit. We've got to stop being afraid of what some of those consequences may be and do what we can to mitigate it. I know when we first started at Chrysalis, one of the fears, if you like, of our people was that we would then have to fit 5 days of work into a 4-day working week. The reality is that we were able to streamline, we were able to look at what wasn't adding value to us and to our customers. We were able to reduce some of the things that we were doing. We were able to reduce and eradicate completely any time that wasn't being best spent either on working with clients or helping us to find new clients. So we're now much more streamlined. We're now much more agile. We're now much more effective. We've now got much more energy. We're now much more creative. 4-day working weeks can work. We've got to stop being afraid of 4-day working weeks. We've got to stop being afraid of doing things differently. If lockdown and COVID have taught us anything, is that we can be more flexible. We can trust our people. We can still perform. We can still deliver. We can do things differently. We can change the world of work. And a four-day working week is a great place to start if you can move away from fear, move toward trust, and maybe just give things a go. We can absolutely change the world of work. And that starts with trusting our people. If you'd like to find out about our success stories, our learnings, our experiences with a four-day week, you can get in contact with us by visiting our website, so thechrysaliscrew.com. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, so Kelly Swingler on LinkedIn. Give us a call, drop us a message, do whatever it is that you may want to do. You can call us 01733 857755, and we will be more than happy to talk to you about our experiences, our learnings, what we might do differently next time, how the team felt about it, how we all kind of got rid of the guilt of feeling that we continually had to work 5 days a week. So there's lots and lots of learnings, lots of stories that we would be more than delighted to share with you. And if you'd like a little bit more than just a conversation, if you'd like to speak to us about how we can help you implement a four-day week and help you to do things differently and change the world of work for your people, then again, get in contact with us and we'll be only too happy to help. That's it for now. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.